Hey Dr. White, I did my article summary on From the Roots Up, Building Student Vocabulary Through Greek and Latin. It was written by Amanda Wall and published in the Delta Kappa Gamma Bulletin in July of 2016. The reason I chose to do this article was because of my own experience with learning Greek and Latin roots. When I was in 10th grade, my biology teacher did a specific unit on these and quizzed us at the end of the week. My classmates hated this practice, but I secretly liked the challenge. To me, words have always been a puzzle that you could take apart and rearrange and put in new and interesting ways. Click. Stop. This article gives a strong case for why it's very important to teach Greek and Latin origins. But why is it so important anyway? Well, for starters, it's in the Common Core Standards. Starting in grade 3 in the Mississippi College and Career Readiness Standards, English Language Arts of 2016, there are 3 specific standards for why we should teach Greek and Latin origins. The first one is identify and know the meaning of the most common prefixes and derivational suffixes. The second one says decode words with common Latin suffixes. And finally, decode multisyllable words. Well, the second one's kind of obvious, common Latin suffixes, but what do the first and the third have to do with teaching Greek and Latin origins? Well, this one says identify and know the meaning of the most common prefixes. Well, considering that the article states that 3/4 of English words come from Greek and Latin origins, it makes sense that the most common prefixes would probably be Greek and Latin. And here for the third one, it says decode multisyllable words. Well, think of words like centimeter, photosynthesis, polygon. These are all multisyllable words that kids are going to come in contact with as they advance in the grades. The more they know these words and the more they know the Latin suffixes, the better their chances for learning will be. So why start in 3rd grade? Well, we want to avoid something called the 4th grade slump. What we know for sure about the 4th grade slump is that around the time of 4th grade, students start having a hard time. Well, what causes the hard time? Well, they stop learning to read and they start reading to learn. And unfortunately, if they didn't learn to read for some reason, reading to learn is going to be even more frustrating and even more difficult. So, what can we do to help them? What kind of skill can we give them? Well, if they know that, for instance, in the word photosynthesis, that the word photo means light and that synthesis means with or together or putting together, then they can know, okay, well, photosynthesis means making something with light. And that takes away a lot of the horror and the stress from an unfamiliar word. When we teach students about Greek and Latin origins, we're giving them a valuable vocabulary skill that will really help them conquer unfamiliar words. So to sum up my video, we've learned 3 things about teaching Greek and Latin roots. We've learned that they're in the Common Core Standards, that 3/4 of the English language is made up of these Greek and Latin roots, and third, we found out that it's a valuable skill to give our students to know how to pull apart words and know their individual parts or their Greek and Latin origins. Thank you, Dr. White. That's all I have for you.